everybody. Welcome to another episode of the famous Nick and Knarf, the fantastic duo who's out here to please you. Anyway, we're here today with another great throwback to a time of a band that was very short-lived, but morphed. One of the leaders of the band morphed to become something else, and the band is the Nice. They're a band out of Britain formed in 1967 featuring the great Keith Emerson, who left the band in 1970 to go form Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and the rest is history. But this was his first foray with a real band that had some success, and it kind of became the template for the style of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and was one of the real prototypes of early prog music. Like I said, they were formed in 1967. The four members of the band were Keith Emerson, Lee Jackson, David O'List, and Brian Davison. And Keith Emerson and the bass player, Jackson, were in a band called Gary Farr and the T-Bones. And then they left the band when the band broke up in 67. And they found these other two guys, and they put together the Nice. The Nice, just to give you a little history on them, they had a legacy of 3 studio albums, 7 live albums, 2 compilations, and 5 singles. And we are doing 2 songs that actually were side A and side B of the single, with their highest releasing single, which was a song which became another template for Emerson, Lake and Palmer, where they take classical music and they kind of upgrade it with rock and jazz rhythms and stuff like that. They took the song from Leonard Bernstein and the famous movie West Side Story, America. You know, I want to live in America. It's an incredible musical version of it. And in the middle of it, there's a little piece, an excerpted from the 9th Symphony, the New World Symphony by Antonin Dvorak. There's a little piece in there. You'll see the transition. So he was always bringing this in. So and it harkens to Emerson, Lake and Palmer doing stuff like Aaron Copland's Hoedown from Billy the Kid, and Fanfare for the Common Man, and Nut Rocker from Tchaikovsky. You know, and then they did Pictures at an Exhibition by Mussorgsky.
Did you say Nut Rocker?
Nut Rocker was their version of it. They kind of made it a rocker, but it's really Nutcracker.
Right.
So Emerson was always experimenting with bringing classical music into progressive and rock music rhythms. So this is really
brilliant.
And the other song is a really cool, kind of off-the-wall, neat song called The Diamondhardblueapples of the Moon. It's a really cool kind of a song. Nick hasn't heard some of these, so they're going to be a surprise. But we know you're going to enjoy them. And as you know, poor Keith Emerson, who I admire so greatly, died in 2016 at the age of 71 from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So tragic, because he'd had nerve damage in his right hand, and he was getting depressed and drinking alcohol and was afraid he wasn't going to be able to perform anymore. And unfortunately, what a great talent. What an enormous talent. But here he is in his first foray out into the music world, where you see the genius coming forth. But first, we're going to start with side B. This is the Diamondhardblueapples of the Moon. Here they are, Keith Emerson and the Nice. Never heard this one, probably, huh?
Circles round the heads of all the heroes. The confusion's caused by echoes that are not for us to see. Set on magic carpet, the circles may be seeking for the Diamondhardblueapples of the moon. Diamondhardblueapples of the moon. Diamondhardblueapples of the moon. Diamondhardblueapples of the moon.
Nikki, never heard that before?
Wow.
What do you think?
Okay, the only way this wasn't Emerson, Lake and Palmer is they even at the end you couldn't even hear the drummer playing back there at all, and then the guitar went kind of like quiet too.
Yeah.
That was really interesting there, but. I enjoyed it. The lyrics were really stupid, but I mean,
there was some really interesting musical stuff. I like that
good.
horn section at the end. Da, 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 da.
Was that horn or synthesizer?
I think it's the horn. I don't think he was using the synthesizer.
Too early.
I don't think he was using the synthesizer quite yet with the nice. He was basically using the Hammond organ. That was like the main instrument that Keith Emerson was using. But I mean, can't you hear? I mean, the foundation of Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this song really kind of harkens to other English kind of prog pop rock of the time, too. You can kind of hear those qualities of like the Kinks or some of the other bands that were experimenting, the early Who. I mean, there was some really interesting little influences there, but unmistakable Keith Emerson and the great imagination and the creative work on the organ. What did you guys think of Diamond Hard Blue Apples of the Moon by The Nice? Leave us your comments. Have you guys got this? These albums are really great. It's a 3-part anthology. It's got everything on there.
Where do you come up with a name like that? Diamond Hard.
It was sort of one of those psychedelic album kind of title. You got to hear this title. Here's a title they had to a song called "The Thoughts of Emerlist Davjack." And you know where the name Emerlist Davjack is? It's part of all four of the guys' names.
Yeah. Emerson,
Jackson, List, and Davidson. So they were trying to come up with creative, out-of-the-box thinking, and that's why I say they're sort of prog, mostly prog, but they had a kind of a psychedelia sound to it along with the prog. But we really hope you enjoyed that one. Leave us your comments. Let us know what you think. Anything else on it, Nikki?
No, I'm still kind of trying to grasp it. I don't understand why they literally almost took out the drums the last third of that song.
Well, I guess it was kind of downplaying those for the sake of getting that organ loud and the vocals. I guess that was the prime thing.
Wow.
But anyway, I think you're really going to dig this next one because this one is powerful. This is Keith Emerson just kicking ass with the organ. It's completely instrumental, and it's just a memorable cover.
How long is this?
It's 6 minutes. Oh. Not real long. It is a great version of the Leonard Bernstein classic from the musical West Side Story. Here it is, The Nice performing America.
Whoa.
See, that's from Dvorak. I have the New World Symphony. Here we go. This is from the New World Symphony, too.
Oh, that bass is nice.
There he is. Yeah. I love that. I think that's such a cool cover of that song. What do you think?
Welcome back next week to the next show of The Walking Dead, because I need Tylenol after that one. Man, oh man.
What a great version of it, though. Isn't that so quintessential Keith Emerson? The only thing missing is a synthesizer. No synthesizer.
Wow.
What do you think?
A little too long.
No, I think it's great. The way it builds, it's kind of symphonic. That's what it's supposed to be. So
I know. I like it a lot. I mean, there are times in that where I'm going, where'd the drums go, you know? And then they brought in that tasty guitar for a little while, and I wish they would have had that in there a little longer. But man, he's
and then
so...
the bass, then they bring up the bass in a few little places like
he's
that.
He's so stinking talented. It's just ridiculous.
Boy, you see the nucleus of the creative sensibility that went into so much Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. He wanted to really take off on the prog side of stuff, and he needed musicians who could match his mastery, his talent, his power, and had the same passion for it that he did. And that's why he hooked up with Greg Lake and Carl Palmer, and their career. That's why they were much bigger than the Nice ever got to be, because the musicians, as good as they were in the Nice, they're nothing like Greg Lake and Carl Palmer. And these guys took their music to another level, But this song is the nucleus. They also do an incredible version, which you got to check out, of Dave Brubeck's Blue Rondo a la Turk off of his Take 5 album, you know. Anyway, It's just called Rondo.
Wow.
If you check out The Nice and Rondo, you'll see
Rajon
that version.
Rondo,
Not
point
Rajon.
guard for the Boston Celtics.
Anyway, The Nice were really talented, gifted, a little bit too far out on the edge for the main market. But
I wish whoever did the mixing on this, I thought they could have done a little bit better job of toning down the keyboard in some spots and having the drums, because he was playing some pretty nice licks in the back, you know.
Well, this is actually a stereo remix of the original. The original was in mono, and it was much simpler. And I like this stereo one more because you hear both sides of the speakers.
Wow.
You hear more layering going on. But anyway, what did you think of America by The Nice? A tremendous version by the masterful, brilliant genius Keith Emerson. May you rest in peace. And thank you, Keith, for everything you did with The Nice and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And we hope you enjoyed today's presentation of The Nice on Nick and Knarf. Leave us your comments, and be sure, if you have not and you like what you heard, subscribe, like, and share. Tell your friends about Nick and Knarf, because like that little sign says up in the corner, we care for your ears. And we're doing it one ear at a time.
And don't drink too many of those caffeine-filled drinks after listening to this album, because, man, you're going to be like pulling your hair out.
That's right, because I feel pretty. I feel pretty. They should do a version of that instead of
Rita
America.
Moreno and
George
Natalie
Chakiris,
Woods.
Natalie Wood. What a
Singing
great
background
movie.
vocals.
But yeah, maybe we can get Emerson Lake and Palmer together.
Hey, what's the name of the blind girl?
Rachel Flowers. And
Rachel Flowers,
we got to
guys.
tell you about Rachel Flowers real quick before we end. We were going to say goodbye, but Rachel Flowers is an incredible child prodigy who's an adult now. She's a woman, but she's blind, and she became a great friend of Keith Emerson. And if you watch her video, she plays all the stuff Emerson, Lake and Palmer did.
Gosh.
She does Tarkus. She does Carnival 9. She does Endless Enigma. And she's blind, and she plays this brilliant. Keith Emerson was just awestruck when he heard her. If you can, check it out. Rachel Flowers. And
Watch
she'll
her.
just blow your mind. But anyway, we'll end it there. Thanks again for being here. From Nick and Knarf, signing out.
See you next time, guys.
Ciao, bambini. Bye-bye.